Alright guys, so the Steam Summer Sale has been live for a day or two now by the time this video goes up. And I thought it'd be fun to just go through it because there's a lot of games in here, right? It's so overwhelming, there's so much to go through, right? If you don't have stuff wishlisted that you want, it's just, there's a lot of options here, okay? So I thought it'd be fun to kind of go through and pick out what I recommend as the top FPS games. Some of these are older, some of these are newer, the price points are all over the place. One of these I don't even think is on sale, but I figured I'd just suggest it anyways because it's so cheap. Alright, but let's go ahead and go through them. These are in no particular order. I'm just going to make my comments on each one of them, and we'll go from there. So these are the top FPS games that you should get during the Steam Summer Sale. So I apologize for the poor quality. This is a downloaded stream from yesterday. If you haven't seen, I streamed Ground Branch yesterday for like an hour and a half or 2 hours almost. Played it some more today. Might stream it later today. I don't know. It depends on what I'm doing. But we're going to start with the 3 tactical shooters. There's a trio of them. They're all really popular right now. They're all really good. So Ground Branch is just the newest one that I've played. It's the one I have the least experience with, but it works really well. Each one of these has their unique thing. For example, with Ground Branch, it's a lot bigger maps, it's a lot bigger teams, and there's a lot of customization. That's perhaps the best part of this game, right? It has a bunch of different maps, whether it's a plane or some kind of compound in the woods or this Afghanistan style map where you clear each house room from room and you take out all the enemies. It has PvP, PvE, you know, very tactical shooter. I'm sure you've seen all types of games like this, but Ground Branch is one in the trio that's on sale right now. So the other two I'm kind of going to talk about in the same light. One, because I didn't have to install 0 Hour because it's big and I don't have space on my computer right now. And 2, because they're practically the same thing, right? There's 0 Hour and this is Ready or Not that you're seeing gameplay of. I would compare them to a situation where 0 Hour is kind of like the beta and the test version that needed to happen so that Ready or Not could be born, right? And there's nothing wrong with 0 Hour. It works well, it does what it does really well. It's real close quarters, tactical style, SWAT breaching, all that type of stuff that you see here in all these other tactical shooters, right? And there's nothing wrong with the game. It's a lot different than the Ground Branch that we just looked at, but it's real cheap. You can get it, it's not even on sale, it's like $11, right? So if you're on a budget for the Steam Summer Sale, go grab that, right? But if you got the full, you know, expenditure to spend out there, the wallet's beefy, you've been saving up for a new game because pretty much nothing comes out till the end of the year, well, I would go with Ready or Not, right? It's the most beefed up AAA-like version of the tactical shooter. It has all types of customization, the squad plays really tight, all of the maps are really well done, it's constantly being updated, it looks really good, it plays really well, there's a lot of different ways to play, it's just great. I like this game a lot, even though I don't have a primary group to run it with, and that's something that needs to be said about these 3 games, is that you have to have people to play it with, especially Ground Branch. It's incredibly hard to find a server for that game, and Ready or Not, depending on what day of the week and time you're playing, it can have the same problem. So really, you need a group of people, or just at least one other person to play these with, right? 0 Hour, I think, is 1 to 4 players, Ready or Not is 1 to 5, and then Ground Branch, you have up to 16. So really, like I said, you just need at least one other person to play with. It makes it much more enjoyable. Not that you can't play it by yourself, but it's just more fun with more people. Now, let me talk difficulty real quick. There's sliding difficulties in Ground Branch, but all these other games have a set difficulty, right? 0 Hour is probably the hardest of the 3, or at least I was just the least experienced when I played that. Ready or Not, if you don't treat it like a tactical shooter, it can be very difficult, but if you check your corners and you breach and you bang every room and all that stuff, you're good. It's difficult enough that it forces you to do that in most cases, but it's not too difficult where it feels unfair. And then Ground Branch I want to talk about, because the game's a bit older, it doesn't have as many players on it. When you're trying to find a lobby with other players, a lot of people throw it on the easiest difficulty and they're just running around. Once you up that difficulty even to not the hardest, but 1 tier below that experience, it gets incredibly hard. But that's just my experience. I think Ready or Not is probably the best of the 3. It is the most expensive, so that makes sense. but Ground Branch is also a close second and a good deal on sale right now. Now, moving away from the tactical first-person shooter genre, I want to just go into your classic FPS, talking about Squad here. This is basically Battlefield, but better, right? It's a bit more realistic. You know, you have live ammo counts, and yeah, they have that in hardcore where you have persistent magazines, and if you reload, well, a mag is half empty, it you know, keeps with that, you die real quick. It's like playing hardcore Battlefield. There's a lot of different vehicle types, there's more classes, there's a squad system, that's why it's called Squad. Certain people report to certain people, or at least that's how it's supposed to work. This is probably the most console-like AAA game that they have out there, right? If you want to play Battlefield but 2042 ain't doing it for you, this is where you should go. That being said, this is one of the more expensive options on the list. It's up there. I want to say it's about $40 on sale. I think I ended up paying $60 for it, probably, whatever full price is, but it's fun. Once it has a huge learning curve, right? You have to learn all of these spawns, and if you're don't have some type of military background, you haven't played these types of games before, you have to learn kind of all these vocab words like the have and the FOB and all the vehicle types and how the different game modes work. It's not very new player friendly, but you know, watch a couple YouTube videos, just talk to people in chat. You'll understand. You'll catch up. You'll understand what's happening. Might take you a couple hours, but you'll have fun once you do, right? And, you know, this is probably the best squad play experience. While Ready or Not, Ground Branch, and all those games, you can have fun with random people and, you know, you can get that squad tactical gameplay. This, you can go on with complete randoms, and practically every time you get a decent team. Now, this part of the video is going to be a bit different, okay? So, obviously, this is DayZ. It is on sale. It's usually like $45 or something, and it's down to like $20. You probably have DayZ if you've been on PC at all, right? But just because I absolutely love DayZ, it's great. It's like my second favorite PC game of all time, especially modded DayZ, right? It's fantastic. It's a great time. So if you don't have it for some reason, get it. It's fun as long as you like survival, you know, FPS, more slow pace, running through the woods and gathering loot type situations. Right? You know what DayZ is. I don't need to sit here and talk about it all day. So, like I said, I'm not going to go through this over and over again, but DayZ is on sale. You don't got it, buy it. It's great. You'll have a blast. You don't really need a lot of people. You can do this solo. You can, you know, play that super hardcore experience within the base game. You can do super modded. You have all types of options, PvP, PvE. You can do all types of stuff with DayZ. Now, the final one I want to talk about, it's a bit different because it's not on sale. It's not even on Steam, in fact. So I'm talking about Escape from Tarkov. You have to know what this is if you play PC, if you're into first-person shooters. It's so good, right? This is kind of a combination of everything, right? It has that survival sense like DayZ, where you need food and water, your character's kind of persistent over time, and what you find in raid you take out and keep on your character, and you have to scavenge resources and find all types of stuff to upgrade your hideout and blah blah blah, right? It has that survival type gameplay. Right, and I don't claim to be good at it, by the way, alright? I don't claim to be good at any of these games, I just play them and know that they're good, alright? So, as you watch me whiff on this guy over and over and over and over, even though it's a bot. Anyways, regardless. Obviously, it has that first-person shooter tactical elements that we've talked about with all of these other games. I mean, just look at the inventory screen. There's tons of weapon customization, character customization, you know, armor, backpacks, vests, all types of stuff, fucking headphones for hearing. It's fantastic. This game is great. It's one of the most punishing games you can play. I have, you know, hundreds of hours on it. I'm still learning new stuff constantly. There's all types of maps. They're constantly updating it. It wipes constantly so that you can constantly be doing new stuff and restarting from the beginning and, you know, learning new fast tracks to get to do different routes faster and new hiding spots and doing all these tasks and playing differently every wipe. It's great. It's fantastic. There's different editions. What is it, like 40, 80, and 120 or something like that? It's great. It's about to wipe probably within the next week, so now would be the time to go ahead and get on it and buy it, and it usually goes on sale before wipe anyways, so it's probably going to go on sale here in a minute. But it's great. It's a great time. It's the most frustrated you'll ever be in your entire life, but it's so much fun. So those are my games that I wanted to bring up. Technically this one's cheating, but it is what it is. You guys let me know what you're looking forward to, what games you have on your wish list for the Steam summer sale, and I'll see you guys on the next one.